we can stress out the importance. We can stress out the importance of some elements of different schemes, where we can definitively stress out the some of the main benefits through becoming a long-term means of cost reduction. It can also become a promise to the environment, ensuring healthy accommodation, healthy eating, which is more and more important, healthy environment to the guests and employees. We must not neglect the importance of the employees, the significant impact to overall satisfaction of tourists, and also the satisfaction of the local community and our employees. We must also contribute to the better quality of service and strengthen its position in the market and show paths for differentiation. As I already told you, it can be done through the awards on the one hand, but also through very thorough certification process. I must also stress out that it's very important to say how to choose. As I already told you, there is very great number of different international labels, and some of them have only small number of businesses included. Some more have more than 1,000 certificate businesses in it, like Green Key, Green Leaders Program, and so on. So from those elements, we can also read out which one is for us applicable. Of course, when we and the specific sites, we must also go through the 3 decades of the certification process. So it's very important to stress out how to pick just one, since mostly we don't have the resources, nor financial, nor human resources, to go on a greater number of different certificate schemes. So from our side, from the perspective of the destination or the provider, service provider, we must first ask ourselves, what are my needs? Is there a need for standardization of some process? Is there a need to enhance our energy efficiency? Is there a need to enhance our employees' knowledge and experience? So what are the main needs that I have? Are there inside of my company, or there are some needs concerning our markets? So what is the perception of our company? Also, we must discover what are our sustainability challenges, which we have to tackle. Are there environmental, social, spatial challenges, different challenges that are stressed out more and more, like climate action and so on. My level of quality of service that I'm providing right now, and how I do something about it. What is my business destination market in the end? Is it international market? Is it domestic market? If international, what are the segments of it? So those are all questions that we have to ask ourselves before choosing the right certificate. And in the end, even is the last, it's perhaps the preliminary questions. What are my resources? Have I any financial resources which I can put aside for the process? Do I have enough people which will handle the process, not only in 1 year, but in 2, 3 years and more? So it's not a process that lasts for a month or two. So we have to have a long-term obligation. Those are some of the preliminary questions. On the other side, when we are thinking about the certificate or label perspective, we must ask ourselves, is there for this certificate that I'm choosing a transparent assessment? That is quite important to the customers in the end. Are standards neutrally developed, or are they something that can be reliable and used to compare us to others? Also, we must ask ourselves, how does the promotion of quality label awareness among customers? Does it have a good promotion among customers, and would it strengthen our brand awareness? So that's quite important for us. And of course, what is the geographical scope of the label? That's important in terms of the market that we are focused on. And again, what is the cost of the implementation? So those are, both of those slides are something that I believe if you decide if some of you decide to go to the certification process, you should first answer it per se for the questions, and then decide what is the best for your company or destination. Of course, when talking about certification, it's quite important to stress the benefits, since it's a process which is time-consuming, financial-consuming, and in the end, if we don't see the real benefits, if we don't measure and monitor the benefits that will occur out of it, it's quite a process that perhaps we shouldn't have taken at all. So when talking about the benefits, we must have in mind that most of the certificate subjects have reported an overall increase in their quality, which is a product of certification process and new procedures implemented through it. So they haven't reported about the increase of incomes, like a first element, but the quality and the new procedures implemented are the main benefits. So that is what is the focus on. Of course, on the other hand, it is a trigger for new changes, new initiatives, new innovation, establishment of new creative attitudes among our employees, and so on. And in the end, it can also reduce the need for audits of customers. Of course, it's always good to have a transparent audits, but through the certification schemes, we can help ourselves to have it standardized. When talking about benefits, we must conduct, it's not a process which is short. We must earn the trust of our stakeholders, especially guests, which are the building grounds for efficient business relations. Here on this picture, the graph, you can see the importance of the brand equity with the certificate we pick out. Of course, it's important to pick out the reliable certificate which can have a great impact on our product brand, and which will help us differentiate and be more competitive on the tourism market. So certification shouldn't be just let's make one tick and that's it. If it doesn't make any impact, then it's not a very good step. Therefore, this benefit must be quite pronounced, and the certification of our ecolabels are enhancing definitely brand awareness. So that's something that we have to bear in our mind. When talking about different certification types, we can divide them as the elements. There's geographical scope, global, regional, national. There can be aimed at destination, different elements of hospitality industry, from the accommodation, hotels, campsite, hostels, resorts, conference centers, diverse travel agencies, tour operators, and so on. And in the end, some certifications, even though they are more rare, are for tourism products and tourism activities. When we are talking about the awarding bodies, it can be important considering their reliability. They can be made by for-profit sector, non-profit sector, governmental bodies, industry bodies, and different eco-labels are also provided by national park and different protected areas authorities. Some of them are awarded certificates without detailed procedures which are actually used for recommendations for the customers. Here on this slide, you can see a short review of some of these certificates. Some of them are global, some of them are regional or national, but all of these certificates that are on this slide, it's very important that they are all having a third party, they're all third party verified, which is one of the most important elements for the reliability of our certificate. Also, you can see on this in this table what are the minimum costs for 3 years certification process. So some of them are quite expensive, and of course then we expect to have a greater impact of our standards, our operations, and so on. It's also interesting that some of them, all of those are focused on accommodations, but most of them are also focused on other areas of tourism, such as marinas, events, attractions, and so on. So it's also an important element when picking up the certificate to discuss it with our DMO in destination. Perhaps we can have a joint application with destination for different attractions for our own business subject and so on. Through the other part of my presentation, I'm just going to shorten all the main international systems for the certification schemes that you are mostly well known. I hope that you are well known with them. But in the other presentation, my colleague Amira will go in more detail with some of them. So the first one I would like to point out is the Green Globe certificate, which has a global scope and covers a lot of tourism areas, from businesses, attractions, cruise ships, meetings and events, organizations, tour operators, transportations, and so on. It is also important to stress out that when talking about the annual membership fees for Green Globe, it's a minimum of 650 euros. So, and it takes about 3 to 6 months to gain such a certificate. So it's a process with moderately timely process, and it has 40 total criteria assessed by eco-labeling body. Of course, Green Globe is always connected with Global Sustainable Tourism Council standards, which are basis of a lot of the different labels. And I would say that when we are trying to encompass the GSTC standards, we are already doing a good job to go in some of the eco-labeling schemes. Second one is the Green Key, which is also global and is focused on attractions, conference centers, hotels and hostels, small accommodation, restaurants, campsites, and supply chains. It has a bigger number of total criteria assessed, but we must have in mind that when we are these number of criteria can be differently. For some criteria, you can just have yes or no, so they're easier to be recognized. It has more than 3,000 businesses certified around the world in 60 countries, and it can have a diverse range of pricing from 500 to 1,000 euros. They also follow the GSTC standards and cover different elements of environmental, social, economic, and cultural criteria. It is the certificate, which is, as you can see from the map, very well accepted in Europe, especially in some countries. And I would say that it's a good start, but it's not one of the most reliable certificates. One of the most of the hardest certificates, of course, is EU ecolabel. My colleague Mira is going to talk about more detail considering it. It is focused on Europe, including the non-European countries, and it's awarded about the ministers in different countries. They focus on the tourism, accommodation, campsite services, and different consumer products such as food and other needs, which are not necessarily connected with tourism. And in this certificate, there is a really strong focus on the environmental issues that we must stress out, and 44 total assessed criteria have been done. Considering the number of the certificates already awarded, in tourism accommodations in 2021, there was 450 certificates awarded. One of the very internationally spread certificate is Travelife certificate, which is a global certificate, and it has two different elements. One is hotels, and another one is for the tour operators and travel agents. It has 128 criteria, but it has a very smooth process, and I would say it's one of the certificates which has a good acceptance from the diverse elements of the tourism market. It's kind of simpler. You need only 1 month to go through this process, so it is that's a minimum to achieve Travelife certification, and it's not pricey. It's 320 euros per minimum for 2 years of certification. So it's something that can be discussed even when there is a lack of resources. Another one is EMAS, the European Eco Management and Audit Scheme is one of the also management systems, and it covers any type of business in the organization, and it's different since it has 12 broad categories of criteria, so it doesn't have very strict criteria like some others, and it also has a big number of users of this certificate. It's different also that in the start of the process there is a no baseline value. So we start with an action plan and then build up. So it has a kind of a different approach. And final one, which I'm going to talk about today, is EarthTech, which is also a global ecolabel, and it has wide areas of tourism covered, which can be supported by this certificate. It has 70 criteria, which are also derived out of GSTC scheme, and it is, I must say, a high-cost ecolabel. As you probably know, not a lot of the not a lot of destinations or businesses have them, and it's pricey, 1,700 euros. And the process can last up to 12 months. So it's not only financial consuming, but it's quite time consuming also. Before we continue, I would just like to stress out one quote, which is not mine, it's from an anonymous author. But one thing about certificate, we don't, the certificate does not make us certified. I would say that our attitude as a manager of destination or manager of different businesses in tourism, our performance, our commitment to ourselves and to our team is what makes us certified. So that's something that we must bear in mind. Of course, it's good to start with the program of the certifications, and perhaps, as I have just pointed out just few global certificates here, there are some opportunities for the local certificates, which can also be reliable, which can produce marketing activities and so on. And I believe here we have a colleague, Domenica from Germany, which I saw earlier to be here. Domenica, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello. Can you hear me?
I have, when I went through who is going to be a part of this workshop, I saw that Domenica has already, and her company has developed a small certificate, which I believe is reliable. So I would just like for Domenica to stress out perhaps in a minute or two, what are the main attempts of their certificate, and why shouldn't we only address the global certificates? What is the also possibilities of the local and national certificates? So Domenica, a word or two.
Yeah, hello. Excuse me. Thank you for the introduction and for the good overview. My name is Dominika, and I'm also a mentor in Turban Project, and I work for a company called Klimapatentschaft in Germany. We are a consulting agency specializing on private accommodations. So we don't certify hotels, but rather the smaller ones like holiday apartments and holiday houses in Germany. Our certification scheme is, it's quite uncomplicated, I would say. Like you need 70% to reach the certification, and we check the accommodation in 7 areas: energy and CO2, water management, waste management, furnishing, mobility, and communication. I
would say it would be a benefit to pick up your smaller certificate or some other small certificate, not the global ones.
I think the regional certifications have this better like understanding from the local community, like it's more accepted, people can recognize it more quickly. We cooperate with destinations as well, so this is an extra thing that many destinations kind of give to the certified accommodations that they kind of put them on their websites in a special place and make some extra advertisement for them. So it's also good for making a better connection within the destination, like the cooperation between the DMO and the accommodations in the destination is growing and they are coming closer. And what we have noticed in COVID times, it was really an important aspect, like destinations who have already been in close contact with their service providers, like for example, accommodations or gastronomy and so on, they had kind of better chances to go through it. And also the service providers felt more supported through the destinations. So I think our model is kind of working.
Okay, thank you. I would like to ask you and others if also having some important or having their own certificate scheme to share a link or a presentation in the chat, something that the other can also see and read through. Thank you. My colleague Sara now told me that our pools are working finally. So now we are going to have a short pool for 2 or 3 minutes. So please start with it. Okay, so I can see progress. Thank you for filling out the pool. Okay, you have around 30 seconds more if you have something to add. Yeah, from here I can now see that most of you are or tourist agencies or some other type of company institution that we have not predicted here in the questionnaire. Also, 59% of you think that the ecolabel would lead to greater marketing visibility of your company, and 37% believe to some extent. Only 4% believes there will not be some benefits. Also, 78% of you believe that it's a useful tool for sustainable management. So yeah, I can see that you're more convinced that it's going to help you with your procedures than with the marketing. That's the obvious element from here. And considering the last question, do you think that certificates or ecolabels will lead to long-term savings in resources and financial resources? 70% believe it so, and only 4% believe there is not going to be any savings. So thank you for this insight. It gave us some kind of the, okay, share results. We can share results to all of you. And now I would like to proceed with the workshop. I would like to invite my colleague Mira Zovko from the Ministry of Tourism and Sport of Croatia, who has a vast experience, to be more precise, 24 years of experience in environmental protection and implementing environmental management systems. And also she is a member of national commissions for EMAS and EU ecolabel. So she is somebody who can give you an insight in which manner can we go through the process of the certification, considering some of the most important global schemes. So, Mira, can you please share your screen?
Yes, I see Paul. So maybe, okay. Just a second. I think you should remove the pool, or?
Yes, just a second. Okay, now it's removed.
Okay.
Wait, we can see your screen.
Thank you. And now you can see me. Okay. Well, I would like to greet our hosts and all participants. My name is Mira Zovko, and thank you, Isidora, for the introduction. I think this is the strategic decision. Your managers should be aware of the procedures and how to implement those sustainable and those positive transition towards protection of the environment and resources. We witness all those crises and challenges, and I think it's a better decision to start to think towards sustainable transition. The contents of this presentation, I will briefly show you the context of our mental performance, this moment in our history, and also I will show you the general information, requirements, advantages, and benefits of selected environmental management standard schemes or ecolabel. So as now we will have a second pool, 2 questions, and we appreciate your collaboration. So for introduction, I will briefly pass through the drivers of the pressure in tourism. It's over-tourism, scarcity of resources, climate change, and economic, health, and social issues. Here we have also the future uncertainties, and these all aspects are very tense and can imply some consequences on supply and demand side. There are the impacts: unbalanced tourism development, environmental degradation as a foundation of the tourism, also the lack of the resources, risk related to the climate change, so we have to adapt, and various organizational, economic, and pandemic challenges. The urban objective is to spread the knowledge skills for the urban tourism sustainability. So we are going to introduce you these solution practices and some experience. First is the EU ecolabel. From 2017, there is a commission decision, but here we have only 22 mandatory requirements of overall 67. There are criteria for tourism accommodation services and composite services. Isidora show the briefly all those aspects and all those services on her presentation. Criteria is connected with the general management, with waste, water, energy, and so on. But you should know that there is one legal preconditions to meet all legal requirements and to be legally employed and ensure its obligation for the staff. EU ecolabel, why we implement this? Why should we implement this EU ecolabel? There is a 6th reason on variety of levels. I put on the screen only the 6th one, and so one is business to consumer level, other is business to business level. Also we have organizational market level, an operational level, and cost of compliance. This is why we should implement this label. First of all, there is that label facilitates consumers' choice, and it could be a new business opportunities. Also, we optimizing our products and services. We have a logo to produce a more sustainable picture of our economy. We have also some advantages for example, in green public procurement. And also we have we could decrease our costs, and not only through our processes, but in operations, but also we have to we could have some special discount, for example, for micro enterprises and applicants from developing countries. In this table, I decide to put these 7 steps and valuable websites, link on to the websites, so we can shortly go through this table. This pre-application is checking the list of the substream products and services. You can go to this website and explore more details. Also, on the first step, you should contact with your competent body in your country. It's usually some ministry or agency related to the environment. And also the second step is applicant creates a new account in administration information system. Here is the website of the ECOT. Also, we have a third step to produce a dossier, assessment of criteria compliance. In a fourth step, we submit all the papers to the competent body and pay the fee. On the fourth step, competent body examines our dossier and our documentation that we put on the ECOT. And also there is a sixth step where competent body issue contract and license, and also the certificate. After all, we on the seventh step could produce service company brochures and to put our documentation on our website or other websites. So this is a very very useful advertising tool. EMAS is widely known not only in EU but only to the global on a global level, EMAS Global. So it's defined by the regulation from 2009 in 6 key areas and 10 performance indicators. It's a very simple but strong eco scheme with environmental statement as an annual publication of a key environmental data. So every organization should provide continuous improvement, and in a reference document of tourism sector, you will find very valuable information and case studies. The advantages are that your organization could be registered in EMAS not only on national but EU register by public authority, and there is a lot of regulatory reliefs and advantages. For example, last frequent inspection or tax abandonment, competitive advantage, also your visibility of data in your environmental statement is guaranteed as a legal compliance, and so on. But I should stress that there is a thin line between EMAS and ISO 40001. If you have an 40001 standard, there is only three steps to go to EMAS family. Just to draft the environmental statement, verify the environmental statement, and put your registration in a national and EU EMAS registry. Now we have an implementation scheme for EMAS. For organization, there is a national analysis and environmental policy that should be drafted. After that, with or without consultant, you should implement and validate EMAS in your processes. After that, there is a drafting of environmental statement and verification by the third side, which is independent. And also there is a preparation for the registration documents. Then you should go to the public authority online, of course, and you should register your organization, and you submit your environmental statement. After an evaluation, according to the public authority and accreditation body, you are registered in national and also in a European EMAS registry. ISO 40001 is globally known environmental management scheme with three main aspects: environmental aspect. So also to reduce environmental, we should reduce environmental aspect and to ensure legal compliance and data management. Requirements for organization are to monitor, to draft environmental policy, draft environmental plan implementation, monitor the data, and the management review. There is a lot of ISO standards which are suitable for tourism, and I think this is a very interesting standard for accommodation establishment, because there is an environmental aspects, environmental impacts, and also the grey water issue, where the wastewater from households, baths, and shower are measuring, and also there is exclusion of the water closets. Requirements for organization are to consider the general environmental aspects and impacts, to focus on areas such as air, water, natural resources, flora, fauna, but also focus on the interrelationship among stakeholders, among partners. And this ISO standard is a part of Global Sustainable Tourism Council criteria for hotels and tour operators, and it's related to the ISO 40001. It seems it's a network of some standards, some schemes, which is very valuable to know if you have already some of those standards, or you can combine those elements and go for registration, go for application of some of them. Also, there is ISO 50001 as a standard related to energy efficiency. It's not only for standard for decrease environmental consumption, but also to contribute to the cost reduction, to reduce carbon footprint, to gain competitive advantage, to increase efficiency, but not only in energy, but also, for example, in other aspects, promote best energy practice, and so on. Of course, there is a benefit of improving an organization reputation. In this moment, it's very interesting and very valuable standard, because we are witness of the increasing of the energy costs. Also, there is GSTC criteria, as I mentioned previously. It's around 4 main themes. effective sustainability planning, minimizing social and economic benefits for the local, maximizing, social and economic benefits for the local community, enhancing cultural heritage, and reducing negative environmental impacts. It's applicable for the hotel, tour operators, destination, and government. There is a performance indicator, training tools, implemented tools, and it's very valuable because there is no such thing that what should be done, but how, not how, but what should be done. And this criteria revised every 3 or 5 years. I have to stress there is no goal, but you should go through this criteria and also to choose those which are applicable for your organization. I list here some benefits for the hotels that are not certified in accordance to those hotels which are not certified according to GSTC criteria. This is survey for 2017. And also I provide in this slide some benefits such as if you apply to this GSC recognition standard, you are of course very recognized, and it's a very valuable marketing tool for your organization. After all, requirements are very simple to choose certification body. This is a website when you can find a list of certification bodies. Also, to work with certification body towards achieving full GSTC requirements, and also to receive certification after technical review of GST. And after all those processes, you can display logo. These are the certification body, Bureau Veritas Control Union Certification System in Bureau. When you can contact them if you decide to choose GST criteria. Green Globe Standards, as Isidora says, is a very valuable tool. It's based on the four topics: environmental, sustainable management, cultural heritage, and social economics. Well, there is a 44 criteria in 4 groups. Of course, there is indicators where you just put only yes or no. Among of a lot of them, yes, more than 300. Almost 400, and you could see this. You could go to this guideline. It's a very valuable and very systematic guideline. But the benefit of this Green Globe standard is that it's a cloud-based platform for collaboration, and the members should load documentary evidence to demonstrate their compliance. There is a members 3 stages: certified, gold, and platinum. And on this website, on the bottom of the slide, you could see those best stories, their case studies. This certificate provides certification for the 11 tourist category, which Isidora mentioned previously. 5 steps are only to Green Globe certification displayed in this slide. First of all, you should register your details for membership on those on that cloud, and then receive the invoice and use your log in the access green to access a Green Globe solution. Complete your certification, conduct independent audit, and after that you receive Green Globe certification. The Siagostane Harmony, this is a very interesting story. The hotel put a request card in every room, and letting guests then they could request single-use item, for example, shaving kit or shower cap and so on. But many of them decided not to use that single-use items, which are mostly from single-use plastic. So after 1 year, they recognize that the total annual savings are around 3,000 euros. So there is a lot of very interesting stories, and I will provide you the member case studies here on the bottom of the slide. Thank you for your attention. There is a lot of, as you see, there is a lot of organizations that are implemented those standards in their businesses, and of course there are 2 questions, but I hope Sarah and our hosts will put on the pool those questions. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you, Mira, for your presentation. Yeah, the pool is active, so please do answer. And Mira is going to stay with us till the end. So if you have any questions, we can do it. We are planning to do it for 15 minutes or something like that. And I see that there are questions, and I'm going to answer them later. So also. Okay, thank you for answering the poll. We will wait for a minute more. So since some of these questions are, you have to read them a bit longer. So thank you. Okay, So even I'm going to start from the last question, actually. Do you have any of the certificates, labels, or management schemes? Yes, 24%, 6 of you. So I would kindly ask you to prepare a line or two at the end of our workshop, just to say to us which are those that you have and why have you decided for those labels. And considering the first two questions, please select the sustainable practices that you implement in your business. With the most of you have implemented corporate and social responsibility. That I'm very glad to hear of, 68%. And I believe that due to, especially to the last year of COVID, health and safety protocols are also having 56 of you implemented. Some other environmental measures such as waste reduction, 32%, reducing water consumption, 36%, definitely offers me a overview that a lot of you are already ready to go in the certification process, I believe, since not so much of you do have certificates and you do have some kind of these implemented practices that could be a good path to start from. Also, consider your answer on the question 1, which of the presented ecolabels would be suitable for implementation in your business. Most of you have selected EU ecolabel, which we know it's quite strict and one of the even not so expensive, but quite complicated, but very, very important. And GSTC Green Globe standard, which is one of the world's most important also certification schemes. And answering the Brit's question, considering the Netherlands tourism organization and which standards or certificate to implement, I would always advise for the destination Green Globe, since they really do have a good promotion tools, which are quite important for the destinations, even though perhaps for Netherlands, not so much, because you have a big number of tourists. And the other one would be, of course, EU ecolabel, since they have a very good environmental performance indicators, which must be implemented and management activities based on them. Okay, thank you all for answering the poll. Further on, the last presentation today is going to be from our colleague from Mali Lošinj, which is a beautiful town and island in Croatian Adriatic. Perhaps some of you know about it, and which is one of the most sustainable destinations of the Mediterranean, according to the GSTC and Green Globe. And I would like to invite Josipa Perić, who is the experienced manager in DMO Mali Lošinj, to share her presentation. Thank you. Josipa, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, I will start screen sharing if I can. Can we hear me all because I'm not seeing any.
Try again, please. Okay, now it's working.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, we can see your presentation.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me today. My name is Josipa Sizidor. Said earlier, I'm currently working as the experience manager in the Mali Lošinj Tourist Board. Today I'm going to be speaking to you about our journey with sustainable tourism on our island. Just let me see. Okay, so first I would like to tell you a few sentences about the island itself. The island of Lošinj is a part of Crest Lošinj Island Group, which constitutes the western segment of the Kvarner Island inside the Kvarner Bay.
Sorry, Josipa,
our island group extends in. Sorry.
Josipa, can you please share the whole? We can see your screen, but not the full screen, please.
Okay. I'm not sure how to do it because it's on my whole screen at this moment.
Okay, go out and then again, right?
And again, okay, I'm so sorry. Is it okay?
No, it's still, we only see the slides, but not the full screen. There is a button for the full screen here on the left side.
On the left side.
Yes,
Okay.
on the PowerPoint, of course, not on the application, not on.
Yes, yes, I understand. Let me see just.
Josipa, probajte ovo gore gdje piše automatsko spremanje, gore iznad datoteka polazna, pa vidite još do kraja, jedan mali play, jedan mali ekrančić i play, vidite još udesno.
Aha, ovdje.
I taj ekrančić i play, probajte to pritisnuti.
Jel vam sada ok? Jer meni prikazuje cijelu stranicu.
Ne, nije, ali nema veze, nastavite.
Nastavite dalje.
Jel dobro ovako ili kako?
No problem, Josipa, you can continue like this. It is visible, no problem.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but this is my first presentation, so I have a problem, sorry. As I mentioned earlier, the island of Lošinj is part of the Cres-Lošinj Island group, which constitutes the western segment of the Kvarner Islands inside the Kvarner Bay. Our island group extends in a northwest-southeast direction for 99 kilometers with a total area of 513 kilometers square, which comprises the 16% of the total area of the Adriatic Islands. The town of Mali Lošinj, as the administrative center, includes 5 islands: Lošinj, Ilovik, Susak, Unije, Vele, and Male Srakane. This area has a population of just over 7,500 people. The total capacity of beds is 22,522, and 41% of that number is in the campsites. 31% of beds are in private accommodation, while 13% is in the hotel facilities. The island of Cres and Lošinj are very well connected. We have 3 ferry lines, 1 small airport, and a lot of boat and catamaran connections with the mainland. One of the biggest advantages of the island is the very good cooperation between the private and public sectors. And what's more important, we all strive for sustainable and responsible tourism in all of its aspects. I would like to start this with the definition of sustainable development and tourism. In a tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities. Taking into the account the mentioned definition, the main vision of the Mali Lošinj tourism is to become a leading island destination in sustainable lifestyle and well-being tourism in the Mediterranean with its superior quality and unique tourist offer. In order to achieve our goals, back in 2013, Mali Lošinj participated in the European Tourism Indicator System, a pilot project organized by the European Commission. Along with
sorry, I have to stop you again. Please stop sharing and then share a presentation again, since the slides are not moving. We are still on Lošinj numbers.
I'm sorry. Let's try that again.
Now it's okay. Now we can see Etis. It's okay.
Okay, but at this moment, if you see it, it's great.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so in order to achieve our goals, back in 2013, Mali Lošinj participated in the European Tourism Indicator System, a pilot project organized by the European Commission. Along with core indicators, Lošinj decided to measure other indicators by assessing all countable items in the destination and including them into the basic document. All indicators indicators can be divided into 4 different categories: destination management, economic value, social and cultural impact, and environmental impact. Until today, we have compiled measurement results to 7 years, and we are currently collecting data for 2021. Okay. So why the European tourism system? Well, this system enables us to monitor and enhance the sustainability of tourism in Mali Lošinj. It allows us to track destination performance and improve information for decision making. It helps identify and estimate our risks and threats. It's very helpful for prioritization of actions, performing benchmarking, improving community participation, and also for supporting tourism stakeholders. What's more, the system helps us improve the user experience and all that which the as I mentioned before, the system has 43 core indicators, which can be classified into 4 groups: destination management, economic value, social and cultural impact, and well, the main questions are how to start measuring, how to motivate stakeholders in the destination to cooperate, what are the benefits? Well, the benefits before, so let me shortly explain how to start with it. First, hold an initial meeting with all relevant stakeholders, inform them about the project and explain what data will be requested from each one of them. Explain to them why and when it will be measured. Explain why that information is relevant for them and, of course, the whole area. Do your best to bring together all the directors of risk accommodation enterprises. They must be present at the meeting so they can provide their support to this project. When the measuring is completed, present the result to stakeholders. This is used to monitor the views and attitudes of our guests and residents. In that way, you can change and complement our offer, track our energy consumption, preserve the environment, as well as monitor social indicators and tourism employment. Please remember that sustainability can be achieved only through measuring, and what is more important, using that data to formulate the destination development strategy. So please do not forget this. Data collection alone has no purpose. Use them to track destination performance. Also, I would like to present to you the Iqm project, which is the Integrated Tourism Destination Quality Management Project. The project engages all stakeholders at the destination, providing the best services and recommends top-notch amenities and reliable partners, guaranteeing quality. The result is increased customer satisfaction with the overall destination experience. At this moment, we have a total of 105 stakeholders in destination. Every participant in the Iqm Destination Lošinj project, in order to be in compliance with the quality of destination development, meet the expectation of partners and guests and establish network with the other Iqm Destination Lošinj partners, offering products and services at the destination. And they have to meet a certain standards set for each individual group of stakeholders. As you can see, we have here hotels, restaurants, private landlords, tourist agencies, campsites, stores, souvenir shops, and wellness centers. Here you can see the examples of different projects. This is in Croatian, but for all labor, here is the education of employees using long and positive feedbacks. Also, I would like to say something about the European Cultural Tourism Network works. It has the visibility of European cultural tourism destination. They create a platform for change. The award is open to tourist destinations across Europe to showcase their results and outputs in sustainable cultural tourism under several selected categories each year. These awards have been organized since 2014 by ACTN around annual themes for the benefits of destination, communities, association, businesses, citizens, and visitors. Last year, our Nerezinac Lager Sailing Interpretation Center won a second prize in the archaeological sites and museum as cultural tourism attractions category. And now, the last but not least, I would like to tell you a few things about the Green Destination Certification and Awards and the Global Green Destination Days in 2019. So let's start with GD Awards. Back in 2019, we started a certification procedure. We filled the Green Destination Assessment and Reporting System, which has 111 GSTC criteria under 7 topics. As you can see, there are 14 criteria under the destination features, 26 criteria in destination management, nature and scenery and animals has 8 criteria, and so on. In 2019, the city of Mali-Loshin has received a silver award with a score of 7.4. We had the highest score under the criteria culture and tradition and nature and scenery. This year, we also participated again in the audit procedure for Green Destination Award, and it will be as it follows: auditor selection and allocation, desk audit, certification committee evaluation, and finally the audit report. So back again in 2019, only after the certification, we could host a Global Green Destination Days, which was held from 8 till 12 October. In 2019, this event brought together over 120 participants for 30 countries worldwide, and all of them expert in sustainable tourism. That was a very great experience and networking. As you can see in this photo, we planted a tree in our kindergarten, which also has ecolabels. With this little symbol, we wanted to show how we are ready to teach children from an early age the importance of nature conservation. Well, thank you all. I hope this presentation was beneficial to you. And I would love to finish this presentation by saying only love for the homeland can encourage and support an undertaking whose useful results cannot be seen quickly. This was said by Ambros Haracic, a local professor who afforested the desolate and bleak areas around Mali-Loshin. And thanks to him, we are today known as the Island of Vitality. I would love to hear your opinion and questions about this presentation. So please, if you need anything, please send me an email and I will reach back to you as soon as possible.
Dear Josipa, thank you for your presentation. I think that you gave us a great insight in the destination perspective of the award certificates and audit that I have received. Actually, one question. And it's obvious that it's perhaps for destinations an easier path to go through the awards and the end to the real labeling. And on the other hand, I believe that the global certificates are the most valuable one for the destinations. while local and regional national certificates are more important for tourism businesses, especially private accommodation, tour operators, agencies, and so on. Shortly, just before discussion, I would like to share my presentation just for two short examples, since we had such a good insight in the destination level. I would just point out two best practices considering the certification. One is the spa St. Martin in Croatia, in the northern part of Croatia, which has in the last year gained the EU ecolabel certificate. They also have ISO 14001 and the local certificate friend of the environment. They have really, they have told me they have spent over 2 years in preparing this documentation and finalization of the process. And it was a great foundation for applying to this project, where they formed those applications and the procedures much earlier. For example, just some actions they have done in that period is to put aerators in hotel rooms, to optimize water flows. To each room they equipped with sensors, which I believe that most hotels, new hotels, try to do. They also encouraged their guests to eat rationally. Something that's very soft measure can also be a very important measure for the certificates. And among all others, they also encourage the local production, educate their employees constantly, and pass knowledge to the guests. And the guests have the opportunity to learn about the environmental practices. This is one similar but smaller scale example from Slovenia. They have a Green Key, Green and Safe, which is regional certificate, and Green Slovenia, which is local and very well recognized in Slovenia. And they have also done a lot on waste management, local short chains of supplies, and so on. And in the end, I would like to present the best practice of the Hamburg Convention Bureau, which has Green Globe certificate, and which is one-stop office for event planners which we wish to hold events in Hamburg. And they are actually support event planners with organize a range of conferences service, from hotels to the catering, event assistance, and so on. And it's an proof that not only accommodation or restaurants, but also the Congress sector, for example, can support becoming a destination, a green destination, green capital, or so on, through active sustainable management planning, of course. And in the future, they also believe to commit to the operating green for the whole destination. So such great examples of which you could see here are something that I hope that in the future you can look up to. I see, and I saw through your answers that some of you have already looked up to those examples. So shortly, we are already past the time, but if any of you wish to share which certificates they have gained and why those, I invite you to speak a bit about it. Don't be shy. I believe that you should be proud of yourself and help other participants in this project to open their eyes. Why have you done it? And perhaps if you have any bad experiences, of course, you can also state them. It's not all very green and very easy in the certificate world. Sometimes there are doubts. Sometimes we can doubt if we can gain any advantages through the process at all. So, if any, please. No? Okay, but if you wish to communicate this through the platform, I would be even more grateful. So,
I can share a thing, but I am looking how I can make myself clear and visible. Yeah, here you see me.
Thank you.
I'm Toon Weijenborg. I'm from campsite Zeeburg in Amsterdam, Holland. And we have the Green Key certificate.
Okay.
And I will explain a little bit how it is. We have that for, I think now for 10 years. And in that time, we decided that it was very important to have it, not only to help us to reduce our footprint, but also hopefully to attract more visitors to our campsite. And I can state here that the reduce of our footprint is certainly a big impact of the green key, because you have to start in your business with an inventarization of every use that you have, from water, electricity, your impact on your environment, etc., etc. And as you do that, you can you must make a plan how you're going to reduce it, and that is very helpful to help it in your business. So I can advise every other business to do it, because it is a good idea and it really helps you. At the point of more tourists, of more guests, it is not very helpful, because our experience is that our guests are not very much aware of the fact that we have the label. And personally, I didn't meet any guest who explained for me that it was important for him or her. So they accept it for granted. They expect that we are environmentally awareness, something like that. They expect that you are a good business. So they don't think, our guests, that it is extraordinary or that it is some kind of reason to choose for us. But they choose for us because they expect that we have it. Well, that is what I wanted to contribute, and I hope that much of the entrepreneurs, that they are going to take also a kind of green key label, and that now I'm going to check out your EU label, because I didn't know it. I'm going to see if it fits for our business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that the reduction of your cost for the resources has actually been done, and that I feel that you feel more comfortable with yourself and with your operations, business operations.
For sure. No, and for our organization, it was also good, because you have to do it as a team. So we had in those years there were 60 people who worked here, and we did it together. So everybody who works here must be aware that we reduce all the resources at every type of thing, and that can be water, electricity, also waste management, etc. So you do it together, and that's very, very good. So.
Great, thank you. I see raised hand by Angela. I'm not sure what is the pronunciation. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you listen?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Yes, perfect. Sorry, I am on the train, so I don't know if my connection will work perfectly. Just let me put the camera. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. How are you? Thank you so much for your time for the presentation, Isadora. Yeah, you can pronounce Angela or Angela as you want. Yeah, well, we have 2 certifications, one more in the tourism sector, and the other more in the first one is biosphere, and the second one is B Corp. It's more like a for companies in general. It's not that focused on the tourism sector, but both are following the SDG goals for the Agenda 230. Do you listen? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's okay. Yeah, okay. So I more than explain or experience is more a question, because I didn't see the certificate on the explanation. So I wonder if what is the scale of this one, the biosphere sustainable tourism. What is the level? What is the difference between others? I understood this. I understand that this one is like an European recognized one, but and it's also supported for the Barcelona City Council and the Barcelona tourism sector, and it have a lot of other countries that have following the steps and the task to do in order to get the certificate. But I'm wondering what is the difference between this one and the others that you actually explained today.
Angela, I'm sorry. In one part, the connection was breaking, so I didn't hear the precise question. So, if just shortly you can, or perhaps.
Okay. If I write down, maybe if I write down.
Yeah, because I didn't hear you.
So sorry. I will do it.
Isidora, while Angela writes her question in the chat, I see another one from Stefka.
I'm just being writing the answer, but I can answer it like this. Thank you, Natasha.
Yeah. No
the tour operators which are in the US, Travelife is of course international and is also recognized in USA, but B Corp certification is one of the most important for the USA, and I'm planning to put a post in the next week regarding the certifications for the tour operators, so on the platform. So hopefully you will find there more details about it. Okay, yeah. Now I see your question. Well, each of the Biosphere Sustainable Tourism certificate is, as much as I know, mostly focused on the environmental issues of sustainability and the monitoring environmental impacts, but not only them, also some others. And considering the others, most of them have, let's say, the same base. That's GSTC and ISO criteria. So they are diverse. Most of these labels are different, considering their scope of the promotion, let's be honest, and their recognizability on the tourism market. So some of them are more strict, some of them are not so strict and have more diverse subjects included. So to be clear, most of them have the majority of the same elements, but then you have to pick what are my resources, what time do I have, and what is my market I want to reflect on. So yeah, Mira, you wanted to add?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to add that we are in the middle of the funding of tourism ecosystem according to recovery and resilient plans, national ones, okay. And there is money from the European Commission in those funds the eco labels such at the European level, such as EU ecolabel or EMAS. It's a competitive advantage related to those that don't have European environmental practices mainstream according to European management systems. So if you consider to provide some consultants consulting to the US organizations here in Europe, I think you should be aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mira. Okay, if we have already went 15 minutes past time. Thanks for the, okay. Okay, it's just so one new question, just a second. Thanks for the explanation. I also wish to ask about biosphere. What market would you say this certificate is known for? So what market? Okay, I would say that it's most important for the EU market. So for now, but all these certificates do tend to share, to spread their influences on other markets. So for now, yeah, it's that. I would also encourage you, we are going to share our presentations on the platform, and on the end of each presentation there will be contacts, mine, our colleague Mira and Josipa. So please do share any questions that you have. I would be very happy to have a discussion on the platform and make it a bit lively, let's say it like that. So thank you all once again. Natasha, do you have something to add? Your microphone, okay. Microphone, please.
Yeah, I thought I unmuted it. Obviously, I didn't. No, so nothing actually here to add. I think that many information were given to the interested people here in the webinar. So yeah, thank you, Isidora. Thanks all of your guest speakers. Thanks everyone who participated in today's webinar. I really hope that you learned something. And of course, for all of the other questions that might pop up to you later, please do contact either me or Isidora directly, either to Turban platform or via email or whichever kind of media you want to use. So yeah, thank you guys. Lots of luck to all the mentors who were here today. Lots of luck to all the companies that received a Turban grant here, which were also here today. So yeah, I hope that you will be joining us on the next webinars. The next webinar will also be held by Institute for Tourism from Zagreb, but it will be on a different topic. There's an announcement on the Turban platform. Mrs. Martina, who is a colleague of Isidora, will be holding it. And yeah, so yeah, wish you all the best, all the luck in the business. And yeah, thanks once again. Hi, this is Martina. You can see her in the corner. Yeah, she's obviously very excited to hold her own webinar. Yes, today was like a breakthrough. Today was we were breaking the ice today with Isidora. It was great. Thank you a lot. So, Martina, you see now how, yeah, so you see how it looks like. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks, thanks to my colleagues, my partners to here today. So yeah, goodbye all, and see you soon.
See you soon. See you soon.
Bye bye.
We'll chat further on. Bye.
Bye bye.